Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome on behalf of Rutuja Foundation once again. We are here to bring another interesting episode for you with respect to health awareness and education. So, those who are new with us, I would like to share in short certain things related to the foundation. This is a foundation which is dedicated to women's welfare, and you can just find out more details on our website rutuja.org. We have different sections wherein we work. So we have a mental health section dedicated to women's mental health, awareness and education. We also have a separate section on different aspects of female health, especially the menstrual disorders. So we work with that respect as well. We have a research wing wherein we do little basic research on different issues and problems relevant to females health and hygiene and her diseases concerned with her reproductive biology. And we have a book lovers club. We have been into the field of social work past 3 years, and now as COVID is no more as an epidemic and pandemic, we are starting offline programs from September. So those who are in it's based in Gujarat, Surat, India. So those who are with us can just follow us on our different social media accounts to know more how programs and workshops are going to get conducted. So soon we are planning for a mental health awareness art journaling workshop, and we also are starting the green drive with female. So we want to enhance kitchen garden, terrace gardening, and stuff related to a sustainable environment wherein women can contribute a lot. So with this short introduction, let's begin the series of different tools for health modalities. So I welcome once again all of you, and today we are going to discuss something relevant with respect to how you can help yourself using different tools and techniques which might not need a doctor but need proper understanding and practice. So this is a new series of events which we are going to have it in different episodes. We want to discuss different health modalities which can be utilized for finding out cure by your own self. So one of the health modality which we want to discuss today is we talk about Tai Chi. So we are going to have a session with Dr. Lily. I'll invite Dr. Lily now. Hello, Lily.
Hello, how are you, Dr. Nahal?
I'm absolutely
Very
fine,
good.
and we very glad to have you on the platform of Rutuja Foundation for talking about Tai Chi.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, friends, let me introduce you to Dr. Lily. She is joining us all the way from Australia. So, she is actually awaked for this particular session, and we appreciate her passion towards Tai Chi, Qigong, and acupuncture that she is trained into. She is into all Chinese medicine treatments, and that enforces her that these are so valuable traditional knowledge based no information which are relevant for everybody to utilize in the right way. She has been practicing herself, and today she's going to give us an introduction about one of such health modalities, that is Tai Chi, as I already told you. She is the one who will also be sharing the no session on qigong in days to come. So please keep a watch on our YouTube channel and subscribe the channel to see Lily's introductory expert talk on qigong coming soon next week. So friends, why are we talking about this aspect? So in this Tai Chi is one of the martial arts. And let me tell you something about martial arts. So martial arts is, whenever we think about martial arts, we usually have self defense mechanisms. We consider it to be from that point of view, or it's something which is relevant in wars. In olden days, it was accustomed to know martial arts for no, as in part of the army and as in part of the war and all. But martial art is actually also very useful for your mental, physical, and spiritual growth. And Tai Chi is one of the martial arts. So, if you learn this particular art, there are a lot of benefits, which is what Dr. Lily is going to explain to us today. Martial arts word actually was derived from a Japanese word boogie, and this was the one which, its English translation is actually martial arts, but this really has a long list of different techniques. And some of these techniques are very important for mental physical alignment. And Tai Chi being one of those elemental techniques which can really help you gain some no, mental health and physical health. If you practice it on a regular basis, it can be utilized more than a self defense tool. So that is why we have considered this, into our health modalities, and we want people to get aware about Tai Chi. It's not a very popular word in India particularly, and very few females know about it. Again, I would say that mostly martial arts is related to men, so very less female actually participate to be a part of martial arts, and they want to learn martial arts. So Tai Chi is one of those particular arts which can be learned by any kind of women. So if you are a women and listening to this episode, please feel free to explore and learn Tai Chi. So Dr. Lily, I'll open up the floor now, and we would want you to tell us something, what exactly this Tai Chi is about.
Yeah, absolutely. Tai Chi is exactly about this symbol that we can see here.
Okay.
So the yin yang symbol, which is pretty universal, is easily recognized. So the slide itself says that Tai Chi is a martial art known more formally as Tai Chi Chuan. Tai Chi means supreme ultimate and is often used to describe the vastness of the universe. Chuan means fist or boxing. So when you start to look a little bit further into Tai Chi, you see that its formal name is actually Tai Chi. And all of the different variations that involve a sword, then we see Tai Chi Jian instead of Tai Chi Chuan, which is just using hands. So
Okay.
there are lots
Okay.
of
That's,
different types of Tai Chi.
oh, very interesting to note this, that Tai Chi has so many forms, and this is how it has come up. So this symbol has a white and a black part. What exactly it's about? It's a very popular symbol. Many people use this into designs also, and patterns and clothings and all. But I'm
Oh
sure
yeah,
they are
I've got
not aware about
my
what
earrings.
exactly
I've
it
got like
is. Oh, wearing.
yeah. Can you see
Yeah,
this?
that's
Can you see
wonderful.
the
Yeah.
ears?
So, yes, yes, yes. It's visible. It's visible.
So
So I'll just remove
the
the
symbol
slide so
is
you can just show the
yes.
audience.
Oh,
Yeah. So
sorry.
everybody can see this. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah.
So
Yes.
yin yang, and you'll notice I'm not saying yin and yang. I'm saying yin yang as one, is an underlying principle through all of Chinese culture. And it kind of underpins what we understand all across the world as opposites or opposing forces. So Tai Chi or Tai
Yeah.
Chi is about consolidating and understanding what we think are separate entities as one. So a lot of people automatically have this martial arts association, but even all of martial arts is underpinned by this certain philosophy, which is really, really important to separating martial arts in terms of spiritual cultivation, as well as physical endurance and strength building and useful in conflict. As you said, history of sparring and fighting and using these forms to beat an opponent. They have a much, much deeper and richer context.
Yes, yes. So it's, I think it's the same feminine and masculine energy. It represents those two aspects. Viewers, if you have ever read, every individual is made up of two particular no energy aspects. One is feminine and one is masculine. It's not about that you are a gender, by gender of a female or a male, you represent that, but every individual, irrespective of the gender, has these two particular energies, and this needs to be balanced. And tools like Tai Chi promote and teach you how to balance this two energies in a very, very subtle way. So that I just love this beautiful martial arts, and it has always been my dream since childhood, when should and how I should be able to learn something relevant to martial arts. It never happened, so now I am like asking others to learn it. So my dream can be fulfilled by somebody else who learns this particular art. So it's
It's
so
never too
nice.
late.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So maybe when you show today some of the exercise, maybe I can start doing those at home, and later on pick up something. So waiting for your demonstrations today. So tell us from where this actually Tai Chi came around. Who has brought this?
So the history of Tai Chi is again much more than just this slide. So this slide mentions that Tai Chi referenced in ancient China texts written around 3,000 years ago, but there is a lot of debate on to whether it's even older than that. Chen style was developed in about 1670. So this is when we start to have real records and texts of this style being developed. And then the history of Chinese martial arts and legends and folklore have been intertwined for centuries. Now, this last line is particularly important because we all know the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. Tai,
Yes.
tai Chi did not all of a sudden just become the Tai Chi that we see people practicing in parks all across China. Tai Chi has undergone a huge development and evolution over the dynasties of China, and again, still into modern times. So its history is ongoing. And as different discoveries are made, different archaeological discoveries are made, we learn more about the different movements that they had 3,000 plus years ago.
Oh, it's quite old and traditional. Nice to know
Absolutely.
about this as well. Yeah, because it's like there are so many things which actually has evolved from the past, and still play vital role in today's world, especially in diseases and ailments. So I'm sure many will benefit today after listening to these aspects. But like, if I want to learn Tai Chi, what are my prerequisites? Do I need to know something else, or how should I start learning this particular art?
The wonderful thing about Tai Chi is that we recognize it more often than not through older people practicing in parks. So the prerequisite for Tai Chi is that it's adjustable for all ages, and it's very, very suitable for those wanting to maintain balance because it's very slow and gentle. So it's easy on the joints, and it's designed for people suffering with things like arthritis and chronic pain.
Oh, this
So
is
Tai
wonderful
Chi,
to note. Yeah, this is really wonderful to note. So, would you recommend the senior citizens and age-old people, they are good enough to do this Tai Chi? Because
especially
many arthritis and knee problems are very common in age-old people, and they really suffer. Many of them, they can't walk and balancing is a major issue that they face, because lot of people after a certain age, they have the tendency to fall down. There are a lot of people who actually have cracks and fractures just because they have fallen down, as they cannot keep balance in old age.
A lot of us understand that as we age, a fall can be the major difference between independent living and things going downhill very, very quickly. Because ultimately, if you can't walk and rehabilitate, it's it's an absolute disaster when you can't take care of yourself. And then when you're
Yeah.
at an age where everything else is so difficult, it adds so much more complexity to the problem. So I think that not only is it important to show that anyone of any age can do this, but that older people should not be discouraged just because they feel off balance. It's perfect for that. It's absolutely perfect for that. And Tai Chi has many styles which can suit different abilities and different range of motion. So some have higher stances and some have lower stances. It can be a little more
Okay, okay.
challenging than Qigong, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, yeah. But I think still it is, it sounds very purposeful for people who are aging, that they can at least practice this. No, there is like a good chance for even aged people, if they have an inclination for martial arts, they can learn this and keep their mental and physical health balanced.
Absolutely. And we can all see on the scale of the people that we run into every single day that everyone is aging differently. The person
Yeah.
in front of you that's 70 years old can look so, so different in a group of other 70-year-old people. I've met young people that are suffering so much, they look so much older compared to others their own age. So Tai Chi can be the difference between you looking 10 years younger and you looking 10 years older.
Okay, so as she's talking about age, everybody, she's a mother to a kid, and because many would be wondering whether Lily is married and she, what is her age. So let me tell everybody, she is already a mother to a kid, and she is not a college going student. So take this thing, that this is the beauty of learning martial arts, that these are byproducts. Your age and your skin is a byproduct to it, but first of all, you gain your internal peace and your internal balance and the calmness that we are looking for, which is what actually makes us more functional. So this is a good thing that any age, any time, we can start learning Tai Chi. So Lily, what is the basic principle which Tai Chi follows? What are this, like those exercises dependent on? What are the principles?
So Tai Chi principles are a little more complex than Qigong principles. You can see here there are about 10 different points. Some of them are more at an introductory level. So, for example, remain relaxed is something that anyone practicing Tai Chi will have heard at some point in the beginning stages. But then as you go down the list, you have more detailed um, tweaks to make to each movement. So, for example, finding a good weight shift and this understanding between left and right and substantial and insubstantial is something that develops along the way. So, for example, harmonize the upper and lower body. I've been practicing Tai Chi for a year now, and I'm still trying to get some of these principles right. So it's going to be a long process, but it's a lot of fun, and the principles you can take on bit by bit, one by one, so it's digestible.
Yes, and I think that is how it will work on the posture also, because this is very, no, we all are having posture issues. We never actually are trained for the original good posture, how you maintain your posture. Many people
That's
don't have
exactly
the
right.
concept of posture.
The best thing with straightening the head in Tai Chi is that relates back to an acupuncture point. So that's something that's
Okay.
very relevant to me and my work. So this acupuncture point can be located from the vertex or the very top of the ear. And as you slide your fingers to meet in the top, almost like a headband, and then you can fall back into a little depression. So usually what you are taught during Tai Chi is to imagine a string pulling
Okay.
from this
Okay.
point. And you can feel the vertebrae, you can feel your neck and your back and your spine start to slowly elongate.
Yeah, stay straighten up, and I think that
Exactly.
works for the good posture. It's very essential to have that posture throughout the day, and maybe
Even
by
now, I can
awareness
feel
we
myself
should
trying to straighten up.
yeah, very much, very much. And most of the people, they lose their postures as in when they age, so that's how they start bending. There's a lot of bending as in when you age. And in India, I have seen those people who are doing lot of desk job. They have to sit and continuously do the work for hours together. They're always down, so their head is never straight. So I think it's a great tool. Apart from women's health benefits, people, Tai Chi is good for everybody, anybody, even for your good posture maintenance. And posture, just go through good posture maintenance has so much of addition to your good health. And no, keeping your ailments away if you really can maintain a good posture. So easy tool to learn at any age, and can help you gain good posture again. So wonderful to have all the benefits. Already the benefits are getting listed up, right? So what is the actual importance? Like, suppose I have to choose martial arts, why I'm supposed to choose Tai Chi? Why what kind of importance Tai Chi holds that it should be the one to be selected?
So Tai Chi has gained a lot of popularity over the last few years for a very, very good reason. And you mentioned earlier a lot of health benefits and not just this association with martial arts any longer. So Tai Chi Chuan, Tai Chi Chuan, the great ultimate, strengthens the weak, raises the sick, invigorates the debilitated, and encourages the timid. So it's really a holistic practice.
Okay, okay. So overall, it brings the whole thing out. Okay. So tell us something more about the significance of Tai Chi.
So, with the history of Tai Chi, we have this um, basic health association and basic exercise association. But underpinning all of that is this moving meditation or moving medication that some people refer to it as. So, whether you live in the East or the West, there seems to be this basic understanding that Tai Chi is beneficial because it is slow and it is gentle. There's not too much force involved in it. So I think when it comes to 21st century living, we have a lot of gyms, we have a lot of high intensity, high impact exercises, and people get injured. People hurt themselves all the time. And Tai Chi is something that everyone can fall back on. It's always there. It's always gentle. It's not something that you need a lot of force and strength to be able to achieve. So people associate exercise with being young and being able bodied and being physically fit. And Tai Chi transcends that.
Wow. So that's really wonderful again to know. And it's like in your this slide, it's written that it's a moving meditation. So, or a moving medication. So how would you put that?
So I've seen it described as a moving meditation, moving medication many different times across how Westerners describe Tai Chi. And I think it's because we have almost a little link in with yoga in this way. We
Yes,
see it
yes,
as
yes.
something that could be very dynamic, but also could be very slow and gentle and stabilize emotions.
Yes. So, but what could be the possible immediate health benefits of Tai Chi?
Oh, for first things first, circulation. In terms of circulation, cardiovascular system. So we can see here we've got muscle strength, flexibility, balance. Aerobic condition is conditioning is particularly important because while you are moving and while you are gaining flexibility and balance, it's very important to coordinate this with breathing to get the full effects of all of the positive health benefits that Tai Chi has on blood, which is really, really an essential
Yes.
component in Chinese medicine, keeping the blood healthy, keeping the blood moving, and of course, maintaining balance inside us.
Yes, and women who are approaching perimenopause, menopause conditions, let me tell everybody that if you are a person going through perimenopausal, menopausal stages, muscle strengthening is something which is very challenging at that point of time. So you can see that Tai Chi can offer you lot of flexibility and muscle strengthening, and at the same time you have aerobic conditioning which helps in the no maintenance of your good heart condition. So this really can work wonders because it's not a very hard exercise, it's a very subtle and gentle exercise. So those females who are not able to do a lot of difficult gymming or a lot of difficult gym exercises, they can opt for Tai Chi easily, and they can gain
Mm.
their muscle strength easily. Yeah, and obviously there is a lot of flexibility available, and as you are aging also, you get to maintain your balance. So the ratio of decreasing your your falling is automatically going to get reduced. So people, you can see so many benefits you are gaining by a simple technique which you can do it yourself. So even if you do some basic I'm sure some basic no techniques, if you keep doing every day, it's going to work out. So I don't think so, Lily, is it essential that they should know everything about Tai Chi? Would it be fine enough if they know some basic fundamental techniques and continuously do that?
Doing those basic fundamental techniques will still yield a lot of benefit. The deeper you dive
Yeah.
into Tai Chi and Qigong, the more benefit you get. So it all depends on your personal investment. But the great thing about both of these practices is that you don't need to do much to gain a lot.
Yes, yes. So I think most of the people look for that they want to do little and gain more.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm the
Tai Chi
same.
offers,
That's what I'm like.
everybody is like that. Like, I want to reduce weight, but I don't want to skip my food. So if like you have
Tai
an
Chi.
offer that you can eat anything and still you can maintain your weight, people are really they are going to feel very happy about it. So I think Tai Chi is like a cake offered, no cake, that if you learn this, you have all health benefits, but you have to do very little. It sounds so good.
It's perfect. It's ideal. That is my kind of exercise. That's what I want. I don't want to go to the gym. No,
Yes.
it's a lot of work.
Yes, and even this is going to be good for those who cannot afford to go to gym because of their jobs or because of their household responsibilities, not getting time to reach to the gym for exercising. If you learn these a little bit, maybe you are going to get all the health benefits. So on that note, Lily, I have a question. If somebody is learning Tai Chi, uh, per day or in a week's time, how much time they should devote to this particular exercise?
If you can even do 5 minutes a day, that's hugely beneficial.
What are you saying? Really? Only 5 minutes can work? Oh, this is magical. Now I'm really getting into this Tai Chi. I really wish I should learn
That's
this.
the
Like,
great thing.
5 minutes
That's
is
I
something
am
really
not the kind of
wonderful.
person that has a lot of time on my hands. Ever since I had my baby, and she's now 4. But anyone who has kids or is exposed to any sort of little person around them knows that your time is not your own. You don't own your time. You're on their time. You got to do what they want you
Yeah.
to do.
They will fix-
So
Yeah, they have to fix it.
Tai
Yeah.
Chi Qigong had that appeal to me that it didn't feel like a mountain to climb. and I just needed something small. And the thing about most people living in the world is that a lot of us feel like we're running on empty, that we've got so many projects, there's so little time. So it's a very, very appealing type of promise. And
It's
it's
magical,
free.
actually. It's very
It's
magical. Yeah,
ancient. It's been
it's
around for a long
free.
time. Yeah, no company is going to get rich from you doing Tai Chi. That's great.
Wonderful,
You keep
wonderful. So
you
people
keep your
even
money,
see
you
you
go on a
have,
holiday.
yeah, and you have like so many benefits, and you have to do little, and then you just can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get all health benefits. This really sounds wonderful. I think those who can really put efforts to learn Tai Chi, please go ahead. This is a magical medicine which will help you in a lot of things to happen. So who should actually learn this, and who can learn this? Is like any age group can do it, but still any specification, like why and who shouldn't do Tai Chi, or any particular phase when people should not do Tai Chi, something like that?
For for the majority, Tai Chi is very, very suitable. So you can see that anyone who's interested can learn, varying stages of physical ability can learn, and all ages. So it's not something that's strictly for mature age or strictly for middle-aged young people or strictly for kids. It's everyone, everyone that's human. And anyone that's an animal too. Animals practice Tai Chi. We see them do it all the time when they get into different conflicts and fight each other and evade an attack. That's Tai Chi.
Yes, yes. So it's like yoga has those kind of postures which represent the animals.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
Yeah, and who shouldn't know, who are not advised any with any particular disease or critical health conditions?
So here in this slide, I've mentioned that Tai Chi is not advisable for anyone feeling immediately faint, dizzy, or unwell. Tai Chi suits most people willing to try unless otherwise medically advised. So there are some revisions of Tai Chi moves that can be done seated, but they're traditionally seen more as a type of Qigong rather than Tai Chi, which is very flowing and going from form to form.
Okay, and here I would ask one more question, that can women do Tai Chi during her menstruation?
It depends on what your unique cycle is like, because there are some women that have such heavy cycles or have lost a lot of blood that they are prone to fainting or syncope
Okay.
or low blood pressure. So in these scenarios, always, because my background is medical practitioner, I always err on the side of caution. And that if
Okay.
you're going to be doing an exercise that is going to be bringing chi up and lowering chi down, that means that blood is going to be coming up and coming down.
And going down.
So if you're going to
Okay.
do these kind of practices, be aware of your own health history. And low blood
Yes.
pressure is a very, very important one to look out for.
Okay. And would you advise it for pregnant females?
It's quite safe in pregnancy. Again, it depends on what your individual doctor and physician has spoken to you about, because some women might be at higher risk, in which case they're prescribed bed rest and nothing else. So, again, in cases of pregnancy, for Tai Chi, which is just that little bit more challenging than Qigong, it's good to consult your doctor if you're pregnant, just to make sure that you're in a good state of physical health to be able to do some of these more challenging moves.
Okay, okay. And like how if like we have people who have some particular type of mental conditions, like there are cases who are extremely depressed. They are
Mhm.
labeled clinical depression is labeled to them, or certain particular cases wherein the person might be suffering from some mental disorder. Can they be taught this, and does it show any improvement with their medical condition?
Absolutely. So there are a lot of clinical trials out there which investigate Tai Chi and Qigong and what role they play in mental health. Um, Essentially, when you start any kind of small practice or any kind of small discipline, you are starting to train your mind into something a little bit more refined out of the chaos that's happening in here.
Mm.
So Tai Chi is perfect for that because it switches off all other instructions and says hands go up, hands go down, foot moves up, foot moves down, breath moves up, breath moves down. And for a lot of us, our heads are a very, very busy place to be inside. So those kind of instructions through Tai Chi and Qigong, it they let you relax into it slowly. And it's up to you to start learning along the way that that's enough of a guide. You don't need to do any work to come out of depression, to come out of anxiety, to come out of whatever mental trauma and demon is harassing you. That just through that little activity, bit by bit, slowly, 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 it builds a house of peace and calmness just day by day, 5 minutes. And before you know it, you can be in a chaotic situation and the chaos doesn't
Yeah.
disappear. It's still there, but you can channel the energy in yourself and the energy around you and stabilize and live a bit longer and a bit better.
Wow. And how if like there are students who look for increasing the concentration and focus? So does it work on things like that?
Absolutely. If anything, Tai Chi is extremely good at clearing the mind because it's cultivating this up and down motion. So, more often than not, people that are studying and students that are really, really overwhelmed and have a lot to take on, there's so much happening up here. So, Tai Chi helps cultivate this very slow downward motion. And all that kind of intention can be added in from the individual.
Okay, wonderful. It's, I think this, the right term is magical. Tai Chi is magical.
To
That's
me,
what I
it is,
understood.
yeah. It's truly
It's very
magic, yeah.
magical. Yeah, it's so much magical, and I think people should learn this anyhow, and no, they should be able to gain more health benefits out of this particular things. So going back to our no slides, so who should learn Tai Chi and what are the health benefits to Tai Chi? We already know, but because we are more focused on to women's health, what kind of health benefits from women point of view they can get benefited when they learn this particular thing?
So for women's health in particular, we can see a series of benefits that looks at improved coordination, less joint pain and stiffness, stress relief, mindfulness, relaxation, and social interaction. So for women in particular, I think osteoarthritis is something that's affecting females more so than males. So as we get older and as life expectancy changes and varies, whether we're talking about men or whether we're talking about women, Tai Chi is particularly important for women to undergo as well. And I think with our long history of centuries and centuries of trying to consolidate this secondary role that women have held for a long period of time, I think it's even more important to have practices like Tai Chi to help us understand that masculine, feminine energy and come to terms with it within ourselves. Because the world around us it's a very hard world to be female
Hmm.
in.
Yeah, that's true. It's challenging to be a woman and then do so much of multitasking, and maybe that is one of
Yeah.
the reason that out of both genders, mostly women are the one who come across a lot of anxiety issues. They are the one who have a high stress level, and they are the ones to remain in anxiety for a for a long period of time, because they are expected to do so many things at a time and handle so many areas at a time. So people, you can see, you can relax yourself and have stress relieved through 5 minutes of tai chi, which is for what you don't even have to work much physically, but it helps you gain these benefits as well. So Lily, you have mentioned that social interaction is another gain for tai chi. So how would you put this?
Social interaction is an absolutely huge component for Tai Chi because it fosters this sense of community. And more often than not, what we're missing when it comes to mental health and indeed physical health is having healthy external relationships as well as having healthy internal relationships. So, having something in common with another human being, that's so good for our hearts. That's, you can feel your heart, get warm and excited and happy when you meet someone who has a connection with you. And Tai Chi is a great place to meet friends and meet other people who are on some sort of journey. Usually it's health related if it's not martial arts related, but the two are really the same thing. Martial arts, even though it's conflict, is just the yin yang to health. So
Yes.
on one side you have conflict, and on the other side you have healing. So life and death together.
Yeah, it goes hands in hands. Pain and happiness together, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so that is how, like, this is going to be no working in case of social interaction. And I get to remind this that somewhere I read recently that heart is the only organ in today's world from which we need to function now, especially when we have artificial intelligence taking over the world, and we have robotics coming up to compete with human beings in terms of matter. This is the only left out place. So good that if you get more connected to your heart, it becomes easy to connect with somebody else. And just by the simple martial arts technique, this can be learned. But what I see presently about people around is there is lot of emotional trauma which goes around. And
Yeah.
it's for almost all the age groups, especially with women, because they are considered to be emotionally more vulnerable and sensitive. And they come across a lot of roles to play. So they how would tai chi help in maintaining the emotional well-being of people?
So the emotional well-being of people is regulated in different types of ways. For Tai Chi, it regulates it in quite a few significant ways. So we've got encourages attention to breath and gentle movements to calm emotional distress. So straight away in emotional and very, very high charge situations, there are already out there lots of breathing techniques that people will employ naturally. When you get angry or you get upset and someone says, take a deep breath, and you go. So Tai Chi is already incorporating something so simple that we do naturally, but coordinating it with movement. Provides a sense of community and camaraderie through group learning, which we just talked about, and promotes constant relaxation of the mind and body in all situations. So obviously, constant relaxation, we wouldn't be upright. If it was true relaxation, we would just be floppy, on the
Yes.
on the floor. We wouldn't have any structure. So relaxation, while it's used a lot in Tai Chi, it actually means an openness, a softness. So you're still ready to move. You're still ready for action. And we have this idea in the West that relaxation is just sitting on the couch watching TV, like a sloth. So this concept of relaxation is so different in Tai Chi.
Yes, yes. But this is very important to note that even when you're functional productive, yet you are relaxed. So mostly people consider relaxation is equal to rest. It's actually not so. When you are working, maybe you are doing lot of work at a time, but still you are relaxed. That can happen. And I think that should be the way then only it is useful to being calm and being more peaceful. If you can just do your work in a relaxed manner.
That's exactly right. I see in clinic a lot of jaw tension and jaw pain, right? TMJ, teeth grinding, a lot of tension here in this masseter muscle. So sometimes when I say to people, relax your jaw, they do this. It's this ridiculous movement. So I say to them, without opening your mouth, try and open this space. Just
Yeah.
relax enough to feel a little bit of space starting to open. So that way you don't drop your jaw. It's not completely relaxed. You're creating an opening. And then
Wow.
chi can move through the opening.
Yes. So I think it also brings oneself more close to your inner self, and you start knowing the language of your body. Because I'm sure many people, so many parts of our body, they go unnoticed by us. We are not aware about our own muscles and how our bones are functioning. We are only aware about the outer looks. But
Yeah,
when we have to actually understand how my hand is moving and leg is moving, we never pay attention on to those small things, which we actually utilize so much. So without hands and legs, we just can't do anything. And we
that's
never pay
exactly right.
attention. Yeah, we never pay attention how my finger is moving and which muscle is moving. So
It's
it's
much
wonderful.
worse than that. We take it for
Yeah,
granted. We
yeah,
completely
exactly.
take for granted the fact that we can do this at any time and grasp the world around us and interact with everything. So it's a real complacency that's swept the entire world.
Yes, and when we are doing simple movements, we forget that there is so much of coordination and interaction of the body muscles, bones, and tissues, which actually is doing that. I think Tai Chi would help appreciate those small things which are there in the body, and maybe that's how you become more aware about yourself. You can appreciate yourself, and self appreciation is what females lack the maximum. They don't have self appreciation. So maybe we can foster that aspect also through Tai Chi in a better way, that you start loving yourself and feeling yourself and being more closer to your own self. The understanding level is different when you know your own body and how it's functioning and how it's going on. It's so wonderful to know. I'm learning so much by asking you questions right now.
This is such a good talk. I keep forgetting this is a live chat. I
Yeah,
feel like it's
yeah.
just you and me talking here.
Yes, yes. And just let us know, like, Tai Chi is such a huge science as such. So there must be many styles to it and many forms to it. So can you just give us little brief information, like what kind of forms or types it has?
So there are varying types of Tai Chi or Tai Chi, which I mentioned before. Tai Chi Chuan, which, as I said, sort of loosely translates to Supreme Ultimate Fist, um, is then divided into its own subcategories where stances and power exchange varies. So Chen style and Yang style are at the top because they're probably the most heard of or the most popular in modern day practice, in modern day times. You also have Wu style, House style, which is also called Wu House style, and Sun style, which is a little bit more suitable for those who aren't so mobile or suffering with particular pain and arthritis issues. So Yang
Okay.
style is um, the Beijing 24 is probably the most common learned among Tai Chi beginners. And that's the
Okay.
one that I'm learning now through Jamie, through our mutual friend at Regeneration Tai Chi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Tai Chi, it support pain management? Would it
It
support
does.
pain management?
It does because it can be catered. But again, this is where you would need to rely on speaking to a medical professional or speaking to a Tai Chi teacher or someone with a little bit more experience instead of getting a diagnosis from your doctor and then jumping online and finding a video that you think would suit you. It's probably best to consult someone about the most suitable style for your particular case.
Okay, so I always have one question, because now we are in the era of technology and use of so much of social no media groups and
Yeah.
all, like Instagram has come up, and we have YouTube and all. So many people, what they do is, for learning different kinds of exercises, they rely on YouTubes. So would you recommend that Tai Chi can be like, for Tai Chi, somebody who doesn't know anything should, just by watching YouTube channels or maybe some videos, they can learn this? Would you recommend that, or how they should start learning it? There should be some teacher to be approached, or any Tai Chi
Yeah.
schools are there? How it happens?
This is a really interesting question because what you're asking is something that can be applied across the board, which is how do
Yes.
I know how to pick information that's appropriate to me out of a sea of options? Because when we talk about YouTube videos, Tai Chi, Qigong, those videos are a dime a dozen. So, more often than not, I will do my own little bits of research into Instagram, into Facebook. I'll look at different groups and who's popular. So, there are certain names that keep coming up through these circles. And once you do a little bit of research, then you can pick the right video for you. So,
Okay.
because we all have access to this stuff, we tend to just dive in without doing a little bit of reconnaissance first. So, no matter what you're looking up online, it's always good to draw from a few different sources and then make a decision.
Okay, okay. So, and initially, like, even if you are going through the videos, would you recommend that they should get checked with somebody who is a little bit more experienced in Tai Chi, or it's okay to just see and you can learn it?
It is, it depends on who you ask. The very traditional practitioners The very traditional practitioners will say, no, you shouldn't just follow anybody. Because there are a lot of different beginners that put out videos where the legs might not be very stable or the whole form looks a little bit wishy washy because the posture isn't balanced properly first. So, even in Tai Chi, all of these little principles have to be honed in first. And you will start to see the difference between practitioners as you go along. But that being said, we're talking about a lot of us who don't even have time to go for a walk. So I would say have a little bit of a browse, find someone that, you think looks good, sounds convincing, does some simple moves that are easy to follow, and then you can go from there. So that's how I ended up finding all of the different community online and through social media.
Yes, that's really wonderful. So after listening to you so much, I just cannot wait for you to give us some exercise demonstrations, because at least some people should take few things to start practicing from this session. So what are you going to teach us today?
Well, I think we mentioned two moves.
Yes.
One for anger and yes, anger control. So I think we better do that one first.
Yes, yes. Okay. So the floor is all yours. So what I'll do is I'll remove myself from the screen so that people can see your exercise to the best.
Sure. I'll see if I can stand up. I'll see. I don't know how far the camera's gonna go.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, you can adjust.
sorry, just, um, okay, that's pretty good. So the
Yeah,
first move,
I think we can see you. Yeah, we can see you. Yes.
can you see okay? Can you see okay? You don't really need to see my feet, but it is important when you practice Tai Chi to feel a little bit rooted in the ground.
Okay. Okay.
For Tai Chi, we're talking about yin and yang. So we're talking about upper body and lower body. So the lower body is heavy and stable, and then the upper body can be light. Now, this is the
Okay.
first opening form for Tai Chi, and you can do it with me,
So,
Nahal.
should, yeah, yeah, and should we actually wear the sleepers, or it should be barefooted?
It depends on the weather and your environment,
Okay.
because in in China traditionally they don't do too much earthing and walking around barefoot because in northern China it's very cold. So it becomes a more popular practice in places like India or in warmer climates. So because there is this acupuncture point on the bottom of the foot, it's always recommended to protect that, especially indoors. So in Asian culture, it's very common everyone wears socks or slippers inside. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have bare feet on the cold, icy tiles because then that energy is coming up into the point.
Okay. Okay. I get your point. Fine. So I'm looking forward for the anger control. Go on.
Yeah, it's very simple, okay, because it's the opening form of Tai Chi. So you can see this very, very commonly all across the internet, and it's so easy to do because as you stand and your
Okay.
feet are shoulder width apart, or you
I,
can be
I just
seated.
I'm just removing myself from the screen so that you can be visible more.
Yeah, sure. So as you are balanced, left and right feet have a 50-50 equal weight. All right. So before moving, this is the time to do things like adjust your posture. Yeah. So feeling that string coming out the top of your head, letting everything straighten and relax. So shoulders are down. And you can even bend the knees if you're standing. So again, it depends on your mobility and your range of motion and your sense of pain. So traditionally, head raised from a string, shoulders down, lower back tucked so that's flat. You don't want this curve in the spine. This is a very, very important aspect of Tai Chi to make sure that the spine is straight and regulated properly. So then the knees are bent, hands float up, and hands float down. Okay, so you're pretending that the air is almost heavy and that you can almost feel the air. And then we add breathing, breathing in on the up and breathing out for the down. Breathing in, coming up. And as you lower the hands down, you can sink the elbows. Yeah. And the wrists lead you down. So the wrists lead up and the wrists lead down. So this is particularly good for anger control because it's regulating this lowering motion and this raising motion. So what happens with anger is that it tends to rise up and get stuck. So this motion reinforces that things aren't one-sided. Okay? It's very, very unhealthy to have all the energy stuck up. So energy comes down and then it comes up when it's appropriate. So that way we don't need to completely dissolve this idea that we shouldn't be angry. Anger is healthy. Anger is a part of all the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big difference between appropriate anger and inappropriate anger. So this move helps regulate this up and this down motion. So as you push down and repeat the move, you can feel more. Your hands will start to tingle and feel much more active because you're moving and manipulating the energy around you to help the energy inside you. And
Wow, this is so good.
that movement is the pathway for that. So
Hmm.
very easy, up with the wrists, down with the wrists, keeping things soft and open. And if you're having trouble with that concept, I always say to students, lock your knees, stand up very straight, lock your joints, straighten everything. So now you know what not relaxed is. So now
Yes,
that you know
yes.
what it is, that's the opposite of relaxed, now relax. And they go, oh, everything sinks a little bit. There's a little bit of a release, but you're still upright.
Yeah, but this is such a simple exercise, and I think everybody struggles with anger. Everybody. There should not be a single person who does not feel angry at some point of time. And this is so good to train yourself to remain calmer and get calmed also quickly, without getting much trouble. There are people who have anger issues and not able to manage anger easily, and it's really killing them. So I think it's such an easy move to help calm yourself. Wonderful,
And
wonderful,
I think for
simple.
women in particular, yeah, for women in particular, we have kind of this cultural underpinning of how we express anger and how we feel anger. It's almost something that's associated so strongly with masculine energy rather than feminine energy. But we get angry.
Yes,
Women get angry too. It happens.
women do get angry, and they usually don't get chance to show it up. So when they get angry, it's like a big huge blast. That's
It
more
builds and
deadly.
builds and builds and builds and builds. Yep.
Yes, and then
Until the
one day it's
energy has
going to
nowhere else
just.
to go. It has nowhere else to go. It's all gone up. And
Yes,
then it
that's
comes
very much.
out.
Yes, and that is the same situation with people, because in terms of the impressions that we gather from all around the world, and every day that happens, and then we are looking for some kind of a detox. So in
Mm.
physical aspects, there are so many tools available that can help you detox when you have overeaten, or you have done so many parties. You know how to detox your body physically. But how they should do it with respect to Tai Chi, how Tai Chi can help do a mental detox.
In terms of a mental detox, there are other moves that really encourage this. One of the
Okay.
most popular moves is called cloud hands.
Oh,
So
the word is good.
yeah,
Cloud means.
so it has this really, really beautiful connection to this natural symbol. So cloud hands is a great way for improving mental focus and detoxing the mind, as you kind of touched on there. So it's a very, very simple move where, again, you can do this seated or standing. Sorry, my camera is like moving around.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
So with with this particular move, you're going to start with one hand uh, and turn to the side and lift the other hand. Okay? So you can see as this upper hand comes across, the other hand is following. So my body is kind of turning on an axis. So one hand down, the other hand comes up. One hand down, the hand comes up, and turn. And what you end up happening as the move changes and speeds up, you get this beautiful flow. And you can do this just with hands, or you can start to incorporate your waist if you're standing. If you're sitting down,
Okay.
it's very easy to just do it at a desk with just the hands.
But this should be done slowly, or it has to be at a rapid speed?
Slowly is always best with Tai Chi.
Okay,
If you
slowly.
see Tai Chi done fast, it's usually done by professionals for performance, for competition, or it's done for sparring in some type of martial arts school, or it's sped up online because it's so slow to watch. So someone
Yeah.
sped it up.
Yes, yes, I get your point. So everybody, you should always do Tai Chi exercises in the as slow as possible manner, not to rush. That's the first
That's
thing we have to learn, and
yeah,
be very gentle to doing the exercises. Don't be harsh in doing the exercise. It has to be done gently with a lot of love. Then it is going to support and show the magic.
exactly, exactly. So when you go online or if you find someone that you like to watch, always find someone that's going at like a nice speed and explaining things in a way that you can understand because everyone's
Yeah.
communication is so different.
Exactly. And when they're moving the hands like this, how does the energy play? So, like, why it's cloud hands, and how can this just doing this can detox mentally?
Yeah. That's a really, really good question. And again, it kind of comes back to yin and yang. So we understand the energy above us, the sky, as yang. Okay? Everything that's up here, everything that is associated with the sky and heaven. Everything down below us is yin. Okay? Everything that's heavy, everything that's dark, everything that's dense. So we have
Okay.
this above and below. And what's in the middle?
Yeah. What's in the middle? Oh, we.
Us, us. We're the magic.
Yes.
We're the vessel. We're the exciting part because humans and animals and plants take this energy in and express it however we can. So if you look at a tiny, tiny wildflower growing, it took the energy coming down from the sky, the rain, and then the ground pushed that energy back up. And we have a little flower.
Yes.
So if that kind of intelligence exists in nature, how much more for us? So that's where this philosophy really kicks in and says humans have this ability to draw in everything from above, from below, from the sides, from the diagonals. So you see this one move in Tai Chi, which is called white crane spreads its wings. So I'll see if I can demonstrate.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
it's a little bit, it looks a little bit like this. Oh, can you see my hand? Okay, but look at my
Beautiful.
arms. Does that remind you of a symbol?
Yes.
So this move just on its own is drawing in this directional energy, these diagonals. Uh, out here, this way. So all of that, it's not just us moving and flailing around. It becomes a way that we are drawing in energy whether we are aware of it or not. We just have to do the moves and keep practicing and stay open, and the energy flows naturally.
Wow, this is wonderful. So just it's not just doing like this and this. It's actually you're moving the energies. Yeah. So
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 a
important.
lot
Yeah.
of these
And
movements are like circular. You know, they're designed for to look like a circle or round, smooth. So
hmm.
that roundness is reinforcing that principle that everything is continuous.
Wow. So this reminds me that we have nowadays quantum healing, which is all about energy. And and people in ancient times were so well aware that it's actually energy that is going to help us heal. So it's just you have the correct coordination of the energy with your body, and you are going to get all the healing and health benefits. It's so
And that's what
wonderful
Tai
about
Chi
this.
and Qigong really are. They're just regulating what's already inside us.
Yes, and I'm sure this is making, just like me, everybody else also excited to hear to your Qigong's session, and we would wait for it next week to understand and see the demonstrations how Qigong is going to be so good. So thank you so much, Lily, for this wonderful session and basic understanding on Tai Chi. And it was so very much overwhelming and amazing to know that it's a magical tool which anybody can do, and which has so many benefits. It aligns you with your body, mind, and the universe in terms of energy, and you are self reliant to do this particular technique once learned. And moreover, it doesn't consume your time. Even if a little minutes given can add so much of benefits to your internal growth, connection, and your health. So such a powerful tool, which was unknown till we discussed this whole of the session. So I look forward to your session on Qigong. So the viewers, on behalf of Rutuja Foundation, let's thank Dr. Lily for today's wonderful session, and we'll wait for her next session. So also tell us something about your symbol. What does this mean?
Oh, this is the Taiji salute.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah,
that's so
yeah.
good.
So the right hand is bent in a fist, so it represents power. And then
Okay.
you have your hand, which is kind of like community, right? Like members of a household. So these four fingers sit together, and this is this unifying of community. And then the thumb is bent. See?
Okay.
And that bent thumb represents humility. So it
Oh
becomes a
wow,
yeah, it
this is
becomes a greeting of
this.
mutual respect. So power,
Yes.
community, humility together.
Wonderful, wonderful to note this. Wow. So two symbols we learned today, that yin yang and this another one. So
Yeah,
we
and
look
you can do
forward.
that anytime and it will make you feel like practicing Tai Chi. You'll do that and go,
Yes,
okay, I'll
yes, for
practice that.
sure, for sure. So I'm so happy to have you on the floor, and very excited for the next session of Qigong. And we look forward to few more exercises, no, as in demonstration. It's so good to know. I think I learned it today. So by the time of our Qigong, I'll practice and I'll let you know how it went with me, right? And how it worked on to me. So thank you so much for sparing so much of time
That's okay.
for
Wake up
today's.
tomorrow morning and breathe in the mirror 3 times and then I'll be happy.
Yes.
Just not even
Yeah,
5 minutes,
surely,
just
surely.
3 times and then you move the energy beautifully.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a nice, tight sleep. I know it must be around 10 or something there, 10 or 11, perhaps.
Getting
So,
close to
yeah,
11, yeah.
yes, yes. So, please sleep well, and see you in the next session for the Qigong. Thank you so much. Bye, Lily.
Thank you. Bye.